Hello, people. How you guys are doing today? Um, let's start with this piece. So, as every time, I'm starting with its head and blocking out the features. Uh, Considering the egg for ribcage and marking the placement of soldier, then hands, trying to keep it proportionate and loose at the same time, not losing myself in details at this stage. That's this collarbone and rib cage, that is that pelvis. So I'm not good at judging the distance between pelvis and rib cage, so I'm just going with the flow, uh, making sure the proportions are close enough to what they actually are. Then I'm blocking in the hair in very loose format using the slanting grip rather than the usual 3 fingers one. So that's how our hair will look. And not thinking too much, so starting with the clothes right away. The wiring I have did helps me to place the landmarks when it comes to clothing at right place or close enough to the right place. So roughly marking the areas with strokes. This will represent the shadow areas or the areas beneath some kind of object. Then this is the marking of frog, giving the rough patch of shadow to distinguish that this is the part where it would be dark compared to the lighted areas. So just by making this enough work, one can get easier idea of what the pose is all about. I'm marking in her legs. So the leg part is a bit tricky, and I was lucky enough to crack it at first stage. Let's block in some shadow part for legs. You can see I have kept my strokes very loose. Then this time her face is entirely covered with cell phone, so luckily we won't have to go in the part of making her eyes and such. Let's work on hands. So this hand, I tried to be a little thoughtful of my strokes, but hands, as always, is very difficult part to crack. But I made sure to have my strokes not that stiff, but I was not able to help it. I switched to the 3 fingers grip for dark strokes and details. I'm slowly jumping to starting with the detail part. Making strokes little more darkened to separate the shapes and the hair part, and making the dark areas even more darker and sharpened, which would help distinguish the distance between two objects, like the creases of clothes. Keep working on making the distinguish between shadow and the light part, and now thinking of adding the mid-tone. The mid-tone is directly considered when we add even more darker part with our strokes. So luckily, using the loose grip made the pencil lead become even sharper, which helped in adding the darker shades, which I am doing right now with its frog. And the same way that stroke helps to distinguish between the two legs, how one is above another one, and her sandals, which are entirely black, so we can put the entire dark part. Be bold with these strokes and at the same time loose. Your strokes will show how confident you are in them, and it will also ultimately come down to the entire drawing. This time I decided to not think much and just go with the flow, and this is the result. And then we are working with our handy earbud for blending the shadows. This helps the all tone parts to come together and give the loose feel, the uniform texture, and create a smooth gradient from darkest part to the highlighted part and everything in between. And erasing the highlighted part, which creates a sharp difference between light and dark areas. So and this is how the entire piece came together. I hope you like this and enjoy the reveal, and see you at the next video. Do like, share and subscribe for more upcoming videos, and I will make sure to be consistent with my audio and improve it down the line. Thank you.